The Temperance card is the archetype of the Sagittarius. The Temperance card is a major arcana card, which is a very powerful part of the tarot deck. What does the word temperance mean? It means self-control. It means having self-control over things that you feel like you need to release. So usually for us, this comes in the form of emotions, like needing to have self-control with your anger or with your wrath, maybe just being appropriate at the right times, like saying the right things, reading the room type of thing, having awareness of like how to behave, right? And having self-control. Well, temperance is self-control. So why would this come up in a reading? Like what would this actually mean? So in order to have self-control, you have to ask yourself, this is on a spiritual level, you have to ask yourself, who are you in the big picture of life? Right? That's what Sagittarius is about, that higher learning, philosophy. What is life about? Why am I here? That's Sagittarius energy. Now, in order for someone to really receive the answers for that, or to be a student of life, they have to humble themselves to what is bigger than them, right? And so the temperance comes in because as humans, we have the ability to think that we're God sometimes, or we think that we control things, or we think that we know it all. Our head can become a little big. And when that happens, it's a little bit harder to control and have self-control and have temperance, especially if you think you know it all, or, you know, that type of thing. So again, temperance is having self-control. And when you ask yourself, who are you in the big picture of things? If you're being honest, you realize that you may have dominion over things in your life. You may be the richest person in the world. You may be the smartest person in the world, but at the end of the day, you did not create the trees. You can plant a tree, but you cannot create the seed that makes the tree. You cannot make air flow the way that you would like it to flow. And these may seem like small things, but these are things that it doesn't matter how creative you are. It doesn't matter how gifted you are. There's certain things that only God can do. And the Temperance card reminds you to have self-control, to accept that by being humble. A lot of people, especially nowadays, do not want to believe that there is a God. They don't like the idea of it. They think that it's ridiculous. They think that it's a waste of time. They think that it gets you nowhere. And for some people, that is the truth. You know, God is not God for everyone. That's a whole nother video. But what people don't really want to talk about is you can be spiritual as you want to be, but you can't forget the things that you are spiritual in. You know, if you're spiritual, you usually are into nature and stuff like that. You have no ability to create any of the spiritual things that you work with, even if you are a witch or something like that, or someone who is a magician, right? You can use all these herbs and things like that, but you did not make any of them, and you did not put those abilities into those herbs. Do you see what I'm saying? You learned how to use them. So you can create from something that is already there, but you cannot create what is there. And so for a lot of people, that's a hit to your ego, and it shouldn't be. It should make you proud or make you feel empowered that you come from something, or you're in the essence, you're in the image of something that can also create as well. And so the Temperance energy itself is saying, if you will humble yourself to see what position you are actually in relation to God, then you can have the ability to craft and become creative like God as well, because you're here to be creative, but you're able to learn, listen, you know, and grow. And then you can really start to get closer to the manifestation of who you would like to be, because you still have that option, but it comes with being humble first. So just like with anything that you're learning, if you want to be a monk, you're going to go to the people that are higher than you in that regard, and you have to yield to them to teach you. You have to come humbly so you can learn. Nobody can learn anything if their ego is off the charts, because they think they know everything already. And it's very foolish. So it's with anything. And remember, Sagittarius, which is the Temperance energy here, is all about higher learning. Anything of a higher learning, you have to realize that you need that knowledge. It does not need you. right? So in all circumstances, when you're going to college or university, you have to apply, you have to be good enough to get there. You have to humble yourself for them to judge if you're allowed to. Temperance is what will give you the understanding that you're looking for. And so for gurus, usually gurus are another archetype that's used as an example of what temperance is and what the Sagittarius zodiac sign represented by. So usually it's like a guru who has learned how to temper himself, to be humble, to not allow his emotions to overtake him, to not speak more than he listens. And so these are the qualities of what temperance represents. In a reading, this would show up as maybe you shouldn't be as extreme as you have been being. It could also be a card to let you know maybe you need to take a step back and look at your position within the situation that you're asking about. It also is another card that will give you a sense of calmness or suggest that you be calm about a situation. And last but not least, the temperance card can also be an indicator that you need to go and communicate with other people, learn from other people, learn how other cultures work, get a better understanding of the world. So not just your world, but the world, and see how things are moving, see about different religions, see about different philosophies and things like that. Traveling as well. So there's so many ways to look at the temperance card. So that is the temperance card. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a thumbs up on the video, please, and thank you. And I'll see you in the next one.